So, in my room at home, there is a little white square card hanging on my wall. It simply says, "It is what it is." Under it is a very comfortable chair that I hadn't spent much time in until I came home early from Boston this semester. This corner became my new classroom 4 weeks ago, and every time I opened up my camera for our Wednesday and Friday Zoom sessions, I felt that little white card looking at me. "It is what it is" used to be my favorite phrase. I would say it to calm myself after almost failing an astronomy test that I'd studied hours for, or when I didn't get a scholarship, or when anything felt out of my control. But when I came home and I was listening to nonprofit leaders discuss their perseverance during the current crisis, and my fellow fellows talk about solutions to gun violence, that card and that phrase began to really frustrate me. It felt like a cop out after spending weeks hearing the word changemaker and working to become one. This resulted in a realization about the journey I took this semester in learning to reject passivity, or the act of being passive. I used to resort to passivity because I visualized the idea of making change as some huge tower, this unattainable goal with no structure or way to get to the top. I often fell into the mindset of "it is what it is" because it's easier, and I assumed someone else would do something if I didn't. So maybe it was being called a change maker over and over that within the last 3 months, I saw that insurmountable tower start to crumble. I saw it when my mentor Angie challenged me to reach out one more time to an unresponsive organization, even though it felt easier to just forget it and move on. I saw in every human centered design presentation I watched, where my peers developed real, actionable solutions to major social problems in just several weeks. And I saw it in myself when the structure of my work schedule was stressing me out, and I reached out to my mentor to talk about it, despite the urge to suffer in silence to avoid confrontation at all costs. None of these examples of action created a national impact, but they all involved rejecting passivity and doing something, starting somewhere. That step of refusing to resort to indifference is essential in addressing any issue. Even if it's minuscule, it helps us become more optimistic and confident that positive change is possible everywhere around us. Change for me is now better understood as a sequence of tiny actions that result in something much bigger. Today, I want to challenge you all to resist that "it is what it is" mentality when you feel it coming on, and find just one way to do something about the problem. Make one phone call, sign that one petition, take 1 hour to volunteer at that organization. Not only will you feel empowered by the sense of agency that you carry, but you'll likely be the catalyst for the next person in the sequence of change. And sometimes it is just what it is. But for change makers in the making, usually it isn't. Thank you.